Hi, I'm THERESA BOYDSTON, and I am the head leader for Joshua Young Life. Young Life has been around since 1941. It actually started here right outside of Dallas. And now Young Life has chapters in over 100 different countries. We started our chapter in 2012 right here in Joshua, Texas. We have had hundreds of students that have come through our doors in that amount of time. I was a Young Life leader when I was in college at TTU. And when I graduated from college, I never thought that it would come back into my life. And when we had the opportunity to open a chapter of Young Life right here in Joshua, I jumped at the opportunity. The reason that I wanted to be a Young Life leader now is I saw the impact when I was in college, the impact that it had on high school students, and the impact it had on me as a leader. And here we are 8 years later, and I think I have probably grown more than anybody else as I have stepped out of my comfort zone to try to pour into these students, because they have taught me. They have allowed all of the Young Life leaders to walk in their journey with them, their highs and their lows. As Young Life leaders, we earn the right to be heard. We are there for them. We go into their world, and they allow us in. They let us in a little bit at a time. And when we are asked to be there at the hardest moment or the most joyful moment of their life, that is when we give glory to God. Because our mission is to show them what a relationship with Jesus is supposed to look like. We don't force it on them. We don't manipulate them. We show them. We walk with them. Because Christ has shown us unconditional love, that's what we get to do for teenagers. And right now you'll get to hear a little bit about some of my students' journey with their relationship with Jesus.
Okay, my name's Audrey. I'm a senior, and I came to Young Life because my friend was like, oh, you should come to Young Life with me. And I was like, no, probably not. And then she was like, well, I mean, you get a shirt. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll come. So then I went, and I guess I never really stopped going. Kind of just like, I don't know, I felt like I fit in there, so I kept coming. Young Life has been a big part of my life because not only do I have a lot of like fun memories, but there's also been a lot of like meaningful times. I actually got baptized at the Young Life building, so that was really cool because Young Life is pretty much the reason I like came back to Christ and wanted to be more involved with that kind of stuff. So it was really cool to be able to be baptized at the place that kind of got me back to where I am now. I'm thankful that we're still able to come to Young Life, even though we have to wear masks. That kind of sucks, but it's still worth it because we get to come and be with friends and hang out with like our second family, so it's worth it. Young Life's kind of helped because even though we really can't do a whole lot, it still gives everyone a place to go in the middle of this all the craziness, so it's been nice. So no matter what you have going on in your life, it's like those are the people that you can come to for anything at any time, and you just walk in and you like feel at home, you feel welcomed. I don't think there's anyone who walks in and is like, oh, I don't fit in here, because all kinds of people are there, no matter what you like, what you don't like, what you're into, like no matter what, you just feel at home. So it really is like going to a second family. I've had the opportunity to listen to other people's stories and, you know, think about my story and what Young Life has done for me. So I feel like when people give to Young Life, it's because they have seen what it can do for other people, and you know, I'd like to give back to Young Life as much as possible, and I feel like when others see what it's done for everyone, then they'll want to give back to it.
Okay, my name is Lexi Stanton, and I am a senior at Joshua High School. I started coming to Young Life because one day I was sitting at lunch freshman year, and this guy with two other young adults, guys, came up to my table and were acting a fool, telling jokes, and said, hey, you should show up here at 7:02 for pizza, shirt, and games. And I was like, no, why are you talking to me? I'm trying to eat my Lunchable. Then I was like, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. So then I came, and then I will never forget the first club that I ever went to, and I haven't stopped coming back because it's like a second family to me, and my relationship with the Lord, with every leader, has grown immensely. I've grown as a person. Young Life is good for the community because it gives high schoolers a place to be, and not only a place to be, but a place to fit in, no matter who they are, what they like. You can go there and just let loose. Like, you can be yourself and do whatever you want. You can act like you're 7 again if you'd like. You can play with friends, do skits, play games. Instead of like kids roaming the street, they have somewhere with good people to watch over them and have fun and laugh. I think others should come to Young Life because I didn't know that Young Life was going to take me on the journey it took me, and you never know where your journey might start.
I'm Sydney Clark, and I'm a senior, and I started coming to Young Life because my brother always came, and when I was a freshman, he dragged me in, and I ended up loving it because I never felt like I'd fit in anywhere, and so Young Life just gave me a place that I could come and be myself. Young Life has helped me through some hard times. Freshman year was probably my worst year, and coming to Young Life it gave me hope, like, to see the leaders and everyone having such a good time. It gave me somewhere to go, and the leaders were people I could talk to, and I could tell them anything, and they wouldn't judge me for anything that I had to say. Young Life has helped my walk with Christ, because when I came to Young Life, I'd grown up in a Christian home, but I'd kind of lost the passion for Christ. I had stopped believing in Christ for a while, and so when I came to Young Life, it opened my eyes to like what a relationship with Christ is supposed to be like. And when I came to Young Life, I was very shy, and I wouldn't get up on stage. I wouldn't even dance like to music or anything. I would stand in the back. And now Young Life has kind of in a way helped me get out of my shell, and that also goes into sharing my story. I used to be too scared to stand in front of people and talk. So now that I've come to Young Life, I've kind of got to the point where I can actually talk, I can tell my story, I can stand up, and I can really have a good time now.
My name is TITUS NEWSOM. I'm a senior. Okay, that's good, right? I don't even know. I started, I guess, freshman year, and then I went to like a hangout club, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I've always gone to church my whole life. I don't really miss Sundays at church that often. And then I didn't ever go to youth because I hated my youth group. And then so freshman year I went to Young Life, and I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like whatever. And then I was invited by Hunter, and then I didn't go to Joshua at the time. And then I guess my sophomore year I transferred to Joshua, and then some stuff went down, and I was like, I still went to church just because, like, my parents went to church, and I was like, I have to. But Young Life, just like, I took a leap of faith just out of curiosity of what was still going on in Young Life, and so I went, and then I couldn't even tell you. I went that one time, and I just kept going back, and I'm happy I did. I couldn't explain why that situation went down the way it did. So junior year starts, and I was like pumped for Young Life. I made the sophomore year shirts, but like I didn't even go. And then I went to junior year. I was so excited for Young Life. Like I was so ready for like everything. I went probably every club and I was in like almost all the skits. I got a mullet with Hunter on stage, and then COVID happened, so that was not fun. And then I really didn't care about God or Jesus. I was just doing it for like, cause like my friends were there, like it was just like for the fun of it, really. And then I guess it was probably last summer. No, I went to church one day and I was just like, you know, dude, I'm about to leave to Nashville. Like, I'm about to go to college. Like, I have to step up, and like, I can't just be there for the fun of it. So I just I started a little spark of fire. Really, I just went to church and like started worshiping. And I was be like, I can't put my hand up. People are gonna look at me and stuff. And so, cause you know how people like in worship. And so I was like, I can't do that. People are gonna look at me. Like, I'm like, I can't do that. And so I guess I just started putting effort in like raising my hands when I felt like into it, you know. And then I listened during church, and then Young Life started, and we started talking again. It's been a good start, and then I hope it gets better, and then so that we can like expand to wildlife and just get as many people as we can, because the senior group we have right now is just it's really, really good. I want things to get better so that we could have next great groups to lead other people who are underclassmen and stuff. Growing up in church, I cared. My dad was a pastor. I was taught all these stories, but I never just bought in, I guess you could say, until junior year. And then so freshman year I was just not in a good state of mind. I didn't have somebody that was there for me. I felt really lonely in the school I was going to, which I go to that school now. Through Young Life, I've grown into being able to reach out to people and make friends and be social and stuff, and share my story to people who need to hear it. So that's what I'm doing now. I just wish I had somebody when I was in middle school and freshman year, late middle school, how I'm gonna be for somebody if they choose to open up to me. I'm just excited to be that mentor that we have the opportunity to be, and so that's just what Young Life just it sets that into people, and it'll Young Life is an inspiration to other people to have a fire and raise their hand, and just it'll give you the opportunity to mentor somebody and just pour out what you've learned into somebody else who hasn't learned that.
One of the things that we get to do as Young Life leaders is we get to bring adventure into their lives. We get to have club with them. We get to sing at the top of our lungs. We invite them in to be funny skit characters, and we do have a moment where there is a serious time where we give a talk, where we share the love of Jesus with them. Then in the summers we take camping. We take them on camping trips. We try to get them outdoors. We try to get them to laugh, play games, bond with each other. The whole goal is for them to have a fun, safe environment to be with their friends, a fun and safe environment where they get to have safe relationships with adults. And the ministry has not stopped just because COVID came. We are still having clubs, we're having things outside. It's expanded our horizons on how creative we get to be as we spend time with these high school students. And one of the things that some of our high school friends talked about was the expansion of Young Life. So right before COVID, we began to launch Johnson County Young Life. Our goal is to expand into Cleburne to get their wildlife, which is middle school, up and running again. As soon as we can, we want to invite Laughlin Middle School and Nichols Middle School to come and be a part of a wildlife program. We eventually want to start Young Life in Cleburne. Young Life and Wildlife in Burleson. We want to expand into Johnson County. The 2 wildlife programs in Cleburne and in Joshua are our very next steps. And we cannot do that without your help. I am the head of Young Life, but there are some caring, wonderful adults that stand behind me as part of our committee. My husband leads with me. We have college leaders that are leaders with us as well as we're on the front lines. We have friends that are behind us. We have businesses that partner with us, churches that partner with us, because this ministry is so much bigger than any one of us. God has plans for Johnson County. God has plans to bring students into relationship with Him. We have seen life after life changed. And what's beautiful is when a high school student's life is changed, many times their whole family's life is changed. One of my favorite memories is when we went to baptism of one of our students at their church, and their whole family was baptized at the same time. Another memory was when we had baptism at our Young Life building, when we had several students and family members who were also baptized that same night. That's what you're pouring into. That's when you partner with Young Life. That's what you get to pour into, is changed lives. And we thank you in advance for the part that you're going to play in our expanding ministry here in Johnson County.